going to start off with this. I'm going to tell this story one time and then never tell it again, but it just got, I had the most horrible day of my life ever, I think, that didn't involve physical pain and surgery to me was Monday. I would rather be in Detroit having dinner with Santino Marella for a week straight I would trade that than have to go through the Monday that I had. I get up Monday morning a little bit late because now that it's dark later, the time's just about to change, so I tend to sleep until I start seeing it get light, and then I get up. So I was up 8:30ish, which is late for me these days on Monday, and I'm puttering around the house, and then about an hour later, about 9:30, I happen to be in the kitchen. I look out the front window, and there's a car sitting in my driveway and a police car behind it with the blue lights on. I think maybe they pulled somebody over in my driveway, but then that car that was in the driveway backs up and leaves, and the cop car pulls in the driveway still with the lights on, and then he gets out, and I'm starting to get my binoculars to see. Yes, I do that, just to see a little better about what's going on down there. And then I look over to the left-hand side. At the bottom of the driveway, of course, is my little county road that now is overrun with trucks and construction equipment and interlopers and people who don't belong here, such as anybody else but me. It's a little thin road, so it's only about 15 feet wide. And right over to the left of my driveway where it goes to the road, in a kind of a little ditch, Abby the deer has been hit by a car.
Oh, no.
Yes, and we've been talking all year about our neighborhood deer, but she's trying to get up. That's what people, apparently somebody had stopped, because immediately I run down the driveway, right, to get with the cop when I see this. And apparently somebody had driven by and called, and they had come by because she's trying to struggle and get up because her back legs are broken, so she can't get up, so she's laying there. And every once in a while, she'll try to get up. And I'm starting to be in tears. I'm like, what can we do? And I mean, okay, here, even if me and this cop could get a full-grown wounded wild deer in the back of the expedition and get it over to the, emergency animal clinic, then even after whatever would need to be done, if anything could be done, where in the world would she recover? At the goddamn county deer home? What he's like, oh, I can put her out of her misery. Oh, but now I'm a fucking nervous wreck. Like I'm being asked to pull a plug on, a member of the family, right? And, oh God. And once again, I'm trying to think about the vet thing, because, I don't know what they could do in this situation. But she's been there for a while, because apparently it was probably before light. She ran out of the woods across the road and the little strip of woods we have left from the development, because that's where they used to live. And they still keep going back over there. And probably somebody in the dark, she ran out of the woods, boom, and she landed in my yard across the street here. So she's been laying there for a few hours, and just looks so pitiful. I'm like, oh God, just to do it, right? So he pulls his gun out, and he's looking for traffic both ways, and I turn around and cover my ears because I can't look or hear or whatever, and bang. And I'm like, oh, and we start to talk about, well, can we get somebody to come out? And she lifts her head up and starts trying to look around. She's not dead yet. And I'm like, oh, no. And so and he goes back over again, and I turn around again and bang. Oh, and so now, Jesus Christ, this is the worst thing ever, right? And I'm once again trying to start talking, and she raises her head up again.
Where was he shooting her?
I don't know, because I was trying not to look. But regardless, one more time, 3 times, and now she's not moving, right? And he says that we can have somebody come out and get her, or whatever. I'm like, okay, and now I'm just crying, and I'm just all so I come back in the house and I wake Stacy up. I'm crying, telling her, oh, it's Abby, and now she's upset, and Harley's jumping around, and Anyway, we can see her down there. If you look down the driveway in the front yard, she's laying there right by the road. So I didn't want to go outside or look out the window. I was supposed to unload some shit from Derby City this weekend out of my truck in the driveway and blah, blah, blah. A couple hours later, I'm trying to kind of peek out and see if maybe they've come picked her up. Nothing. So I go out in the driveway and I'm unloading the stuff out of the truck. And I see a couple cars have slowed down, as they go by, and I'm thinking, oh, fuck, they're looking at the poor deer laying there. And I look down, Brian, she's popped her head up and she's looking around.
What?
This is 2 hours later. She's been hit by a car and shot 3 times. And now I just go out of my mind. Now I go back in the house and Stacy's up. And I said, she's still alive. Now she's, oh no. So I'm trying to get to Stacy's cell phone. And I see people slowing down because now she's actually trying to get up on her front legs again.
Oh my God.
So now I'm completely having a nervous breakdown. And there's people slowing down, and one guy pulls in my driveway again because they're calling. I guess they called it in too, but I called 911, right? And I'm like, the deer has been hit by a car, shot 3 times by the cops. She's still alive and trying to crawl back out in the road. Now I've got people, pulled over, and as a matter of fact, I'd run down there before I called, and one of the construction workers from the development down there is saying, well, maybe I can find one of my guys with a gun and we can put her out of her misery. So I'm telling 911, I've got traffic stop here in front of my house. The deer's trying to climb back in the road. The cops couldn't kill it. And now I got construction workers bringing guns to my property. Send somebody over here now. And here comes the cop. And we get the people cleared off and gone and everything. And I explained to him what all has happened so far today. He goes in the trunk, and he was a nice guy, but he goes in the trunk and gets the shotgun that they use for the bad shit, right? And I walk halfway up the driveway and cover my ears. I cannot look, and I hear the shot. And I'm like, poor Abby. And by this time, I'm just an emotional wreck. And I walk back down there to try to talk to the guy. Brian, she stuck her head up and looked around again. I am telling you, I swear on my mother's grave, and he had to shoot her with the shotgun again. She got hit by a car, shot 3 times by a cop with a pistol, and twice with a shotgun before she was dead.
Wow.
That poor thing. And so now I'm just hysterical. And just the whole day was fucking a pallor was put over the whole day, to say the least. They got finally moved her off to wherever they do things like that. But it just once again reinforced my mind with all these people moving, all these houses. God damn it. As my mother used to say, well, who can that be bothering me? We got too many people and too few deer. And the people are living in the place and bothering me with their horn honking and their lawnmowers and their goddamn lights and their kids' fucking radios, bothering me more than the quiet, beautiful, serene deer did. I'll tell you that. But yes, they are hardy creatures. I'll tell you that. And that brings up, when these fucking fucks, and I'm just going to piss a bunch of people off here because now that I'm thinking about it, I don't give a shit. These hunting fucks, and there are people I know and that are otherwise, it's like Trump supporters and religious people I know that are otherwise normal human beings, and you would be great people, but they have this defect of somehow, it's a chemical imbalance or whatever. People that want to go out in the woods and for fun shoot deer or anything else for that matter, but these poor deer, and get a kick out of it somehow. And they're not cops with shotguns and service sidearms from 10 feet away. They're in the woods. They shoot the deer with the deer. I would always assume, they've shot the deer. The deer's dead. Well, now we know apparently it ain't that easy. Do they shoot them? They run off in the woods with a bullet in them and they're lost forever and they can't be found because of these fucking people? or they have to shoot them 2 or 3 times or whatever. That makes it even sicker and more disgusting and repugnant. And it's a sick fucking defect in the human mind that you could do that on purpose, even if forced to or paid to, actually, much less, or paid for it or whatever, much less for fucking fun. And what it boils down to, just like it's like racism, bigotry or hatred of a certain people or political ideology or religion. This stuff is passed parent to child. It's mental child abuse, whether it's teaching your kid an irrational belief in fictitious supreme beings, which leads to, as we know, majorly fucked up mental cases, also terrorism, both foreign and domestic, whether it's teaching gun fetishism to your passing down to your children that normalizes this gun culture that everybody's allowed to have all these machine guns, all this bullshit, or whether it's hunting makes you more manly or an outdoorsman. That's passed down from parents to children, and it's taught like that, and that's mental child abuse, which ought to be dealt with a little more fucking severely. But anyway, so that was my Monday. That was my Monday. And you know, and we've tried to keep them fed, you know, in the backyard, back down behind us, so that they wouldn't go out in the road. But those 40-pound sacks of feed don't go very far, and I've carried a lot of them, wheeled a lot of them actually down it. But anyway,
can I ask you something? Though?
Yes.
Do you, considering the way everything went down, do you now wish that you guys had tried, even though the 2 back legs were broken, to take Abby to the animal hospital?
Well, good Lord. But I mean, I don't, is it like a horse where it's like, you know, you have to call in the best veterinary medicines on the planet for the thoroughbred when he breaks his leg, you know, or whatever, or I don't know anything. It was a split second decision. And you know, but good Lord. At that point, what else could you do to the poor thing? You know, it was just fuck, I was just minding my own business. And once again, trying not to leave the house. My new motto is don't leave the house, bad things happen, and I look out the kitchen window, and bad shit's happening all around me. It's a fucking curse.